assorti aussi nécessaire. Ah bah, j'ai même raconté un truc marrant, c'est que sur les grosses tournées maintenant, quand ils sortent en Europe, il y avait un numérique ou des choses comme ça, c'est systématiquement un peu sur
Hello, my name is Ryan. I'm here with Telefunken Elektroakustik. I'm here showing the 3 different product series that we have. We feature, starting with the Diamond Series product line, which the company started with. These are exact part-for-part recreations of vintage tube microphones as manufactured by Telefunken of Germany and circuits designed by Neumann and AKG. This is the ELA M251. It features a CK12 capsule and a circuit based around a 6072A vacuum tube and a Halpha T14 transformer. This was the first product that we came to market with. From there, we have reverse engineered and created the C12 as well as the U47. All 3 of these are microphones that were designed between the 40s and 50s and manufactured exactly to the originals and currently manufactured in the United States at our location in Connecticut. From there, we have developed these 3 models called the RFT Series. This is the AR51, the AK47, and the CU29. For these circuits, we derived some of the inspiration and circuit components from these historic microphones and have developed newer circuits in which we kind of take a unique approach and different voicing with them. For example, the AR51 draws inspiration from the C12 and 251 microphones. It shares the same vacuum tube, circuit, and transformer, however is built in off-the-shelf metalwork and able to save costs on anything that is outside of the audio path. So they still sound very good and are a cheaper price point than some of the Diamond Series products. Secondly, the AK47 draws inspiration from several Neumann circuits such as the M49 and U47, and the CU29 is a unique design we did based around a new old stock Telefunken tube and features a Lundahl output transformer. So while these 2 are remote 9 polar pattern switchable for different polar responses, the Copperhead is a fixed cardioid pattern microphone. The 3rd product series is the Dynamic Series that we have released, and they feature premium voice coils and handheld dynamic microphones, including the M80, M81, and M82. To explain further, the Telefunken Diamond Series are microphones that are manufactured to be exact replicas of microphones as they were built in the 40s and 50s by Telefunken and other companies. For example, the ELA M251 was the first microphone we came to market with, which features a CK12 capsule, a 6072 vacuum tube, and a Halpha T14 output transformer. In order to make this microphone exactly like the original, not only did we want it to sound the same and look the same, but be built the exact same way. All of these parts can be used for restoration work on vintage microphones. To show you the insides, as you can see, the amplifier is based on a plastic board, as well as there's plastic switch for the polar pattern. These were things that would break on the vintage models that would need replacement. So we began by reverse engineering these parts and using them for restoring original models. Every part you see inside here is exactly visually and electronically the same as the original. So in the 251, if you were to open up an old one and a new one, they will look identical in respect. Second is the C12. Now this was designed by AKG in the mid-1950s. As you can see, it's a very clean circuit. It's all point-to-point wiring, exactly like the original. And this was actually the basis for the design of the 251. When Telefunken began releasing microphones, they distributed the U47. Now this microphone was designed by Neumann And from 1947 until 1958, this microphone was their main export microphone into other markets. The U47 became extremely popular in recording studios and broadcast, and the fidelity of it really swept the industry. It was the first microphone to feature a remote switch on it to select the polar pattern. When that circuit was no longer distributed by Telefunken, that is when Telefunken contracted AKG to design the 251 based off of their C12. So these three microphones in the Telefunken Elektroakustik Diamond series all have a shared history. We decided to manufacture these microphones exactly as they were to pay homage to some of the best recording instruments that were available at the time, and we feel are still some of the best available today. Telefunken moved to designing our own microphones in 2006. The RFT series, which consists of the AR51, the AK47, and the CU29, were circuits that we developed based off of some of the components and some of the design elements of these historic Diamond series microphones. For example, the AR51 microphone, as shown on the insides here, shares the same vacuum tube, circuit, and output transformer as the 251 and C12 circuit. So what we wanted to do was to create a microphone that had a lot of the same sonic characteristics to it, but we were able to save costs on the machining and manufacturing of the metalwork to create a product that was more readily available at a lower price point. Moving on, the AK47 is designed around elements of certain Neumann circuits. The amplifier is based around a new old stock Telefunken EF732 vacuum tube and consists of circuit design elements similar to the M49 and the same output transformer as the U47 called the BB8 transformer. The capsule is a K67 style capsule, so collectively this microphone carries certain traits of these circuits, and sonically it has the authoritative mid-range and extended low end to it, and a focused and forward upper range, which is great for certain vocals, electric guitars, and those applications. The newest design we've done is the CU29 Copperhead. Now this microphone was a design that we didn't base it off of one of these historic Diamond series models. What we wanted to do was to create a microphone that sonically was on par and equal to some of these other designs, yet make it at the lowest price point we could without cutting any corners. The circuit is based around a new old stock Telefunken 6AK5 vacuum tube and a Lundahl output transformer. This is a fixed cardioid microphone, so we refer to it as more of a point and shoot microphone. It is very good for home studios and engineers who would like to have one microphone that is very versatile and much of a lot of applications it can be used on to capture the microphone or capture the source in a very accurate and honest way and recreate it with very true sound. So that is the Telefunken RFT series. This is the Telefunken M80, the first microphone released in our Dynamic series. The M80 is based around a cardioid capsule that has a tighter pickup pattern to it, which gives you the ability to have more gain from your monitors without feedback and minimizes stage bleed. It's designed to be a little more sensitive than most dynamic microphones would be, a almost condenser-like quality to it, and the output transformer and capsule give it an extended frequency response with a bit more low end and a bit of a high end character that is unique to this microphone. So the M80 features a presence peak on the upper range, which really accentuates the voice and allows it to sit in a mix very well. Past the M80, we've designed the M81. It shares the same capsule and same transformer. It is finished in a gray finish, unlike this one. And the M81, we have taken the higher response to it and made it a little more linear and flat in response. So the M81 is very good for instruments such as guitar cabs, toms for drums, brass instruments, and is good for certain vocalists who don't want too much high-end character. The newest design we have done is the M82. Now this is a large diaphragm, a larger capsule than featured here. The M82 is suggested for kick drum applications and broadcast vocals for radio. It features 2 switches on it, which include a kick EQ, which removes some of the low, kind of the low mids around 350 hertz to cut out the boxy or muddy characteristics of a kick drum, and still allows for the low end presence and the high end attack. It also features a high EQ, or a high boost, which adds a bit more of the beater attack for kick drum, or for broadcast vocal, it will add more presence to the vocal. So the M82 is the newest thing we've developed, and we've taken a package that contains the M82 for kick drum, a shortened version of the M80, and shortened versions of the M81s that can be applied for snare drum and toms, that are all packaged together, known as the DD4 and DD5 drum packs. These drum packs contain cables and mounts for everything and come in a hard shell case, so it is the perfect thing for both studio and live applications for drum microphones. That is the Dynamic series by Telefunken Elektroakustik.